Well, some are willing to unravel the parallel.
Wake up!
Wait, for what? It's only 7 o'clock. I got a couple more Z's.
There's a lot to do. Best start early. If you get up now, you won't have to regret it later. Now get up! The clock is ticking!
That's just the thing, though. I didn't set this alarm and my sleep time is set differently. I don't respond by such algorithms and determinations. My body is still snuggled between the sheets and my brain is powered in a REM state, so I'll keep on resting.
How long shall you snooze me to your heart's content? Will you ever be ready to face the sound, or only when you decide to designate time? Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! I am the reminder of the time. I don't aim to be embraced, just acknowledged.
Alright. I best get up. But I first must get dressed for the day.
Therefore, you should set me early, so you have all the proper time to get all your essentials done and out of the way with. By the time you finish eating your breakfast, beating your meat, and checking your phone, about an hour and a half has already passed. You only get so much time to handle your business. Start by following a specific pattern, and be a disciple of this set discipline. You won't regret it.
Then I'll be like a robot always doing the same shit repetitively.
Your entire species is built on the same concept of existence. It is what it is.
What about sleep? Don't I deserve sleep?
Yes, but no more than others do. You sleep too much, which may be an indication of depression, which is a very serious medical condition. You may not be depressed, you may just enjoy it very much because you dream every night. If the dream is more convincing than waking life, you're likely depressed.
So, because I love going to sleep and not waking up to you, I'm clinically depressed?
I said you may be depressed. I'm not saying you are. See it as you wake up late and snooze alarms whenever you see fit.
You're right. I should just sleep and wake up whenever I feel like it. I don't suppose setting the time makes a slight difference if I'm going to do what I want to do.
Exactly. Although you do realize that humans must have some sort of structure and order to their day, otherwise everybody will be late. Which is why setting me up and abiding by my rule is better for everyone involved. After all, don't you have something to do?
Yeah, we all got something to do. I'm just not necessarily punctual about getting work done at a specific time. I just have accepted that I'm later to most things.
You can blame it on the elements of life, a schedule glitch, or the dreams that make you want to sleep forever. It matters none. I'm here to help and get you back on pace.
I'll stay on sleeping. I'm tired of waking up all the time. Do you realize how paralyzing existence can be? All the bullshit and bills, it never stops. And even if I wake up early and get my day started according to a system, the bullshit and bills will be waiting for me with open arms. I ain't got time for the dialogue. My sleep is my monologue, and I refuse to be bothered by the semantics of the daily grind. I'm going to keep on sleeping until forced to arrive at the conclusion, life is more than this.
The average human sleeps about 1/3 of their life. Essentially, 26 years of your life is spent sleeping. Then you die. There's no coming back when you clock out. So much to do. Don't you want to engage the various levels of the day? I won't ever shut up despite your snores.
Oh shit, it's 5 o'clock. This is going to be an astronomical disaster. I say we cancel it before it gets out of hand.
But we've already invested so much into lighting, props, ice, food, and making sure everything is as you wanted it.
Did you hear what I just said? Cancel the whole thing. Terminate the entire process. Put it to an end.
Okay, I'll order a cancel. But you do realize this may cost you way more than you might be able to afford.
Wait, now, how much we talking?
Well, seeing as we've already maximized our budget and the guests have already been notified the event is already booked, the cost would be at least triple to reimburse every party involved.
Let me get this correct. You planned according to the implication that it all would go according to plan. You did not leave room for a clause of termination. Sounds like to me I hired the wrong business to handle my affairs, cause shit happens.
Yes, but if you read the contract, you'd see clearly where terminations are validated up until 72 hours before the event. If you told me this 2 days ago, we'd have no problems processing this at no expense to yourself or of our partners. At any rate, we can still do this termination for you. You just have to pay 3 times as much.
I guess we can keep it going, but if my guests are disappointed, then it would reflect your business dealings rather than mine, since your name is plastered on all the banners and props. They won't look to me to blame. My name is nowhere to be found in any of the setups.
So we are to blame for your unorganized mess?
Who said this would be unorganized? My mess follows a structured chaos. It won't appear out of nowhere. One thing will lead into another, like a gradual ascension into calamity. Once the ice melts on the dance floor, people will start slipping and so forth. It'll be a specific course of a shitstorm.
You plan on things being that bad? How do you even know it'll be that bad? What evidence supports this flow of your madness?
Well, maybe if you asked me why I wanted to terminate the whole process, we could already establish what can be done to prevent my worry. Instead, you reminded me to follow the madness wherever it goes. So never mind the cancel or triple fee I'd have to pay. I'll just let it follow the sequence of events, and if people end up hurt and disappointed, it will say nothing on me.
You aren't seeing how you are the orchestrator of all of this mess? You don't care about putting people in harm's way? What do you stand to benefit? To be the mad scientist behind the destruction of all of your guest experiences? I suppose we can cut the cancellation fee out of the picture altogether.
See, even your company is interested in preserving your future businesses. We can all eat our cake and ice cream if it means us not looking bad. It was a pleasure doing business with you.
Hey, have you tried the new app Fructose that allows you to explore the depths of glucose?
Ah, yes. It's so good. Every time I think I should put it down, it proves me to be a liar because I can't let it go. It's like that chip you keep coming back to in the lemonade your grandma makes. It's addictive like crack, honestly.
That's what I heard, and probably precisely why I ain't trying to give it a go. I don't want to do anything that makes me a slave to it.
Who claimed you'd be a slave to it?
Well, you mentioned crack and grandma's lemonade. I'd say it's quite powerful. Powerful enough to be the master of your senses. If it makes you a liar, that means you can't contest it.
I never tried to contest it because I enjoy indulging it so much.
Have you tried to abstain from it to see how your body will react to it?
I ain't trying to break away from it because I worry I might be dependent on it. You know, the body develops dependence to some substances. If an alcoholic goes cold turkey, it could literally kill them because they abuse it for so long.
So would you say you abuse fructose?
I suppose I do. But we all abuse various things in life. I don't think it's a big deal.
If you don't want to live long and develop various diseases, you do have a point.
Yeah, but I don't see why you're making it seem as if pursuing pleasure is a bad thing. We all have our various vices.
You know what they say, everything in moderation. If you feel you can't resist fructose, you might want to start cutting it out one day at a time. Cold turkey might not be the best alternative, but slowly breaking away from your addiction secures a better future for your mental and physical health.
But I like fructose. Why break away from what I like?
Not all vices are remedies to the consequences that come from them.
Okay, well, I'm gonna do me and you gonna do you.
So are you saying you'd rather continue to head down a cycle of abuse because this is you right now?
All I said is I'll do me and you will do you. I never asked you to lecture me about the dangers of fructose. I am well aware of how bad it could be. However, as with anything, there are loopholes.
I reckon those loopholes are very few.
So, are you going to interrogate me about this from this day forth? Are you going to continually remind me how I'm killing myself and recommend me articles and links to help me get better, or what? Do you think most obese and overweight people know they are, or should they be constantly reminded of this fact?
Healthy reminders shouldn't be triggers.
But they shouldn't reinforce a sense of evangelism either. You can say what you need to without judging me for it or educating me on something that I already know about. Some of us are on our way dying and can't be convinced to change their habits. Maybe they want to die. I don't care much for changing. No need to put me through an intervention. If I was on my deathbed and I wanted to try LSD, would you refuse me of that? Would you tell someone who is already dying that they should take proper steps to ensure that they live longer? For what purpose? I don't have children or a partner depending on my life.
That wouldn't compel you to live longer?
I'm not totally sure. That's not why I do what I do. I have plenty of friends, including yourself, that may want the best for me. I just want you to know I understand the risk, and if experience leads me to make a remarkable change, then I'll oblige. But for now, I'll enjoy my fructose, but take more consideration to moderation.
That's good. I'm happy to hear it.
I hope you live long and stay clear from the range of accidents. You never know.
Hey! God damn!
Where there is sleeping, there's an alarm. While there is preparation, there's also termination. With pursuit, there's pleasure. This is to say that not all messages are delivered. We run into an error sometimes. When this happens, you may need to zoom inwardly.
Yo, ZOOMY!
Yes, inward?
Did you get that link I sent you about the changes about to happen on the internet?
I didn't notice you sent me anything. When and where did you send it to me?
About a week ago. I sent it through FLATBIRD.
Nah, I deleted FLATBIRD on my phone. I prefer SHOOKIE instead. What was the link about?
It was a long article, but it really broke down the immediate changes that the internet will face. Their surveillance will expand, they will have more access to what you like and monitor what you don't click. It's very serious stuff, and the article explained how we can't do much about it. It's a fascinating read.
I'd love to read that. If you can send it to my email, that would be better. I read my emails often. You know I'm old school. Social media is a drag, and I get so many links from various people, I don't always get the time to read it all. I love the idea of actually turning the page.
The newspaper is a fun and classic way of knowing information, but you got to wait longer for it. Plus, too much paper can be bad for the environment. I'm glad we can send things instantly inside of a matrix. The future is wireless, yo! I prefer links because of how they are in real time. I like to speed read on the go.
That's cool, but I prefer taking my time to read. I miss the days when you got a new record and you could just pop it on in your stereo and sit down and listen to it in one good sitting. It created an experience that made you pay more attention to the details. The same goes for reading. I don't mind reading sometimes on the go, but most of the time people don't click the full articles. They extrapolate as much as possible from one single headline. Wife finds man cheating on her with his assistant. You would think that would tell you all you need to know, but if you click the article, you'll find a deeper meaning with the context that a headline just can't offer. People just see the man cheating and goes throughout their day knowing yet again men are trash, etc. It's not the coolest way to learn information. A headline isn't an article, but people just read it anyway. Everyone is sending links to each other and just want them to read it and respond, but most people don't even keep up with it because something new happens every day.
Shit, well, after all that, I'm not sure if I'll ever send you anything.
Feel free to send me anything you find useful. I prefer a good laugh and something informative, though. I could care less about XYZ getting surgery or whom they decide to marry or sensational stories of celebrities. It's fun to talk about in passing, but that's about it.
I find celebrities fascinating. I think they are the new gods of the modern time. We look up to them. We believe in them. We hold them accountable.
I wish more people held them accountable, but usually people let them get away with anything when their PR teams offer a half-ass apology. I could care less about their efforts in this life unless they are contributing to the advancement of society by offering their wealth as a loot for those who need it the most.
Well, whether you care about it or not, they hold so much power, and being interested in some of their leisure activities doesn't harm anybody.
It doesn't benefit anyone really either. You only care as much as you want to.
Yeah, touche. But I met you through the internet, and that link was as random as the article I sent you on FLATBIRD. So I'm going to have to get SHOOKIE and send it to you.
Cool.
Hey Mike, can you buy me some food because I'm hungry and I ain't got the money?
Sorry, Double D, I ain't got it like that. I just got enough for myself.
See, Mike, that's what I'm talking about. You can't even help anybody out without thinking for yourself. How can you be so selfish?
Whoa, calm down, bro. I'll buy you something.
Do you even know how hard it is for families to eat? I'm going to take this food and bring it back to my family because they haven't seen a meal in a while. We're all hungry and I can't even request some food without someone telling me they don't have it. They don't have it, what do I have?
Sorry, Double D, I just don't have enough for the both of us at this time around.
It's okay, my bros. Double D, what do you want? Pick anything you need right now and I'll head with you to the store and buy whatever your family needs for the week. Follow me, bro.
Thanks, Nathaniel. I appreciate you. Let me understand how hard it is for people.
Yo, I get that, but it's hard for people out here too. You didn't have to call Mike selfish. He didn't have enough, and you made a scene out there, embarrassing him, and that wasn't right.
Nah, but I know he had it. He was clearly begging because he didn't think of others.
Do you hear how that sounds? He was being selfish because he told you he didn't have it, so he was supposed to not eat because you haven't? Reverse the script. How would you respond if he was in your situation? You ain't the only one going through hard times, bro. Requesting for something doesn't mean you're entitled to those requests. I can take you out on the streets to people who got it harder than you and Martha. You got kids. They grow up fast. Ruth must be 10, and Tim must be an adolescent. Shit gets expensive. But we all struggling out here in some way.
Oh, Lord. Sounds like you preaching, man. If I had the money, I'd pass you on an offering, brother. I don't doubt you struggling that much if you're willing to help me out for the week, bro.
Well, I have enough. It's not a sacrifice for me, but this doesn't mean it has to be a sacrifice for others when they barely or only have enough for themselves. Mike only had enough for himself. I have more than enough for myself and others. I'm just glad I was right behind y'all so I could pension and volunteer service. I ain't trying to preach to you, but shit, no one knows the extent of another person's dilemma. We owe ourselves empathy, even if you're desperate for change. What's going to happen here one day is that you won't always be struggling. You're going to work it out. Martha is going to get that promotion, and the both of y'all will have enough to take care of your kids and others. You ain't going to stay in this bad spot. It might be hard and long, but shift happens.
It's gonna take a miracle at this point. Some people never make it out their dilemma. Remember Henry, the postman? Well, ever since his mom's died, he been struggling bad. He had to sell his house, and now he's living in a shelter. His wife left him for another life, and he works a lot. 2 jobs, and still sometimes can't make the ends meet. Good thing he doesn't have any children, cause shit, he wouldn't be able to contribute much of nothing to their basic needs. Some people don't make it out, even if they pull their bootstraps up and hustle to their purple in the face. I don't want to get to that point, but I also ain't naive to forget the sun don't always shine in the alleys, especially on the 5th Avenue corner, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, we're all winging this game of life thing. I just think we all can do better. And all of this makes me beg the question of existence. If you had my life, you would be happy for a while with the things that come with my kind of life. I suppose you're never free from troubles, no matter how good you got it. Money doesn't bring happiness. I suppose it can for a brief while, but happiness seems to be more engineered by biology and circumstance. Some people are born happier than others, and that's to no fault of your own.
Shit. Money is energy, and good energy is always appreciated, bro. I appreciate you, Nathaniel. I guess I didn't have to act out so aggressively to Mike. It was just the rage of me being tired of being ignored. It's an all-time game now. Goes to show you what can happen when one gets angry. But thanks for looking out.
Next time you request of a reply, make sure that your roar is not so intimidating. It's all good, bro. We're a blessing to be a blessing. And, you don't have to pay me back for this, brother. This is a gift.
Miss Clarity. Miss Clarity. Sorry to bother you, Miss Clarity, but did you want to take a moment and clarify what you meant in your last interview? You offended a lot of people by your statement.
No, I want people to take whatever they would like to take from it. It's not up to me to change people's minds about my own opinions. They will form their own opinions just the same, regardless if I add clarity or not.
You do realize that you offended a lot of people by your statement. People look up to you and respect you, especially children. You don't feel a moral obligation to give clarity where there is clearly a need for one?
Listen, people will believe what they want to. I also did not ask to be their role model. They may have connected to me because of a familiar thing inside of them is inside of me. I can't possibly know how they think or what they think. I said what I said because that's how I felt at that moment. They are more than free to disagree, but that has nothing to do with me. I don't think a microscope should be on me just because it sounded absurd. Fuck, as in duck, chuck, luck. What people want to assume. Take what I say with hot sauce or Mrs. Dash. Season it as you wish.
Would this be an apology or a way for you to make people imagine what they want to make out of what you said?
Nah, I said what I said, but that was then and this is now. I don't even remember what I said. I don't have a plan. I just do whatever the situation calls for. My thoughts change, but no one would even know what I meant if technology didn't choose to record what I said. Also, manipulate and extort. Also, context is missing when you only highlight the clickbait that reaches everybody. Everyone's angry about everything. So it ain't my fault, but the media's fault at large. Blame FLATBIRd.
Sounds like you are blaming everyone except yourself here.
Well, who is the victim? The children who look at me as role models, or the people and their assumptions about what I say?
I just want to know if you think differently about what you said.
I feel differently about a lot of things. I suppose I can exercise a bit more caution and not speak so much, but I fired my publicist because he was an asshole, and he wanted me to say things I didn't really believe. So who's the asshole? Him, the children, you, or me?
I'm not sure.
You don't honestly think we all think for ourselves, do you? You got to hire a team to do all of that thinking until they start speaking for you. That's when it can get out of hand. So I chose to fire my publicist because, again, motherfucker was an asshole, and now I'm getting pressed just for speaking my own mind. Ain't that some shit? I suppose I can offer a weak-ass apology so that people can go back to thinking how insincere I am for actually clarifying that nothing is obviously a one-size-fits-all. If you want me to tell you what you want to hear, Mr. Yellow Journalist, you could have instead asked me,
What do you wish to say to those who are offended, who would benefit from an apology that sounds sincere enough to them?
To those people, I wish to say, I am so sorry if my words have offended you. I hope you know it's not my intention to speak on things I know very little about. I recognize that children are so impressionable. People like myself must always respect and consider what we say. My words can be easily taken out of context, and even though I really mean what I say, I don't mean for you to be hurt. I wish for the world clarity and above else understanding, so that people may have swaying views different from you and no one gives a damn. Life keeps going on. Seeing things differently doesn't mean anyone is against you. And if they are, so what? Fuck them. A disagreement breeds variation of perspective, unless those disagreements and ideas are rooted in your disadvantage. I hope you can see how clarity makes a hell of a difference.
Thank you for clarifying, Miss Clarity.
Well, that's my name, which is the way of the game. You dig, you dig, you dig.
You're digging where, motherfucker, where you going? You're digging where, motherfucker, where you going? You're digging where, you're digging where, motherfucker, where are you going?
I'm just going around the corner. I ain't going nowhere.
Hey, for sure. I was thinking about bringing to light an idea that has been stalking me in the back of my mind.
Really, MAYBEAN? Why don't you bring it into light? That way you can see if it's a good idea or not.
Perhaps I will. It would be nice to see what was done in the dark, manifested in the light.
Let's do it. I'll get started on the preparation.
Well, I'm not ready yet. I'm still working on the basic idea.
Let me know when you're ready. I can help you with the basic layout, if you don't mind.
That would be cool. I'll try to remember when I get the ideas in a clear HD format.
You sound hesitant against my help.
Well, perhaps I'm just not totally clear about what I want to do yet.
I can help you break out the format for you. We can brainstorm together.
But the plan is still haunting me. It's like that word that is on the tip of your tongue that you can't fully pronounce. Like seeing the picture in your head, but being unable to illustrate all of the fine details.
You rarely, if ever, get the details fully fleshed out. I can help with that if you're willing to receive my help. I need more than your willingness, however. If we're doing this, I want you to sign my name so that I can show up on time.
However, I'm not fully sure if this idea is as fluid as you may see it. If I work this idea with you, it won't just be my idea, but ours. And who knows what you'll add to it.
How would you even know if you haven't even gotten the basic idea out?
I suppose you're right.
I volunteer to help you bring it out of the midnight corners of your mind. I believe 2 heads are better than 1. Whatever is out there in the dark may be bulky and less specific. You may be unable to do it on your own, which is why we can collaborate on this together, if you want.
I suppose I don't know. The way I measured the idea in my mind was just the scent and shade of something that had the potential to be bigger. It is not capable of letting me go. I don't have to say it over and over for me to remember. It only takes once, and I'll go back to it when I can fully build on it. Perhaps you can help me bring it out a little later, once I pull it beyond the shadows?
Fair enough. By the way, remember that script I told you I was working on?
I think I may know which one you're talking about.
Well, whether you think you know or have simply forgotten, that script is already done. I'm waiting for it to be edited so that I can submit it to my publisher.
The reason why I say I think is because you never clarified which script you were talking about. You had several scripts you were working on. I wasn't sure.
My bad. I'm talking about the script about the drug planted by the government and the addiction that followed after it.
I don't recall that script. It matters none. Cheers, I'm glad you finished it.
Yup, I've been working on it for months, but I remained disciplined, and I finished it before the due date.
That's remarkable.
Have you ever thought about abiding by a specific guideline to help you bring out your ideas to light? It could help with your productivity. It helped with mine.
Nah, I haven't thought much about that.
Well, wouldn't you want to try it out now, seeing that it could possibly work for your benefit?
I may do that. I mean, you don't see me suggesting to you my method of flushing out ideas. It's not like my ideas don't come to light. And I'm not telling you the ways I get it done. Not because you can't do it, but because it never occurred to me that you might find it useful or interesting.
My method seems more productive, but then again, I haven't tried yours.
And neither have I tried yours.
I guess we both got work to do, or we can continue blind. I suppose it doesn't make much of a difference if we arrive to the same lines of action.
Our lines may be similar. They don't have to be the same. You do your thing and I'll do mine.
When someone is saying something, there's a point, and you want them to get to it. You may not want the extra details that may stand in the way of the point. You can get to a point quite fast, but sometimes you want to stop around the corner to pick up a few more details. Sometimes you wish to change your outfit at least 3 times a day. If you're changing clothes to reach a point with different colors, some may be confused as to what really is the point. The riddle is unlocked when people can tell what you're saying. They may even have better ways to help you reach your destination. Addition and subtraction, multiplication and division. Remember, calculators come free, motherfucker.
Hey, did you finish that novel you've been working on?
Well, little by little I'm adding to it, but I'm sort of letting it speak to me whenever the inspiration comes. Writing is one thing, but editing is a whole new beast.
Do you consider yourself a writer?
I've been writing all my life and I get a lot of joy and fun out of it.
But what I'm getting at is,
Are you a writer? Yes, I would say I'm a writer.
I write a lot too, and while I don't publish everything I write, I love writing too. So, if anyone loves writing, wouldn't that make them a writer?
Loving to write and writing often, whether you publish your writings or not, makes you a writer in my book, pun intended, Pahatla.
The difference with me is I don't pursue it as much because I have other interests. But you've always described yourself as a writer, so does that mean you're not anything else?
What gave you the impression that I am not interested in anything else?
Well, you tell everyone that you're a writer, but you never say you're an artist as well. Let's say you were a painter, musician, and technical engineer, all at the same time. Would you still call yourself a writer?
I'd probably just say that. I wear a lot of different hats at a lot of different parties, Pahatla.
But if you had to narrow it down to a single occupation, which would you choose?
I would generally say that I'm an artist, although I feel the term artist and writer are abstract occupational terms.
Not all art is abstract, but I get your point.
Of course, not all art is abstract, but what I mean is when someone usually tells you they are an artist, it could mean a lot of different things. A chef can also be considered an artist, as well as a photographer or musician. An artist, someone involved in the creative arts. I think the same applies to someone who says they are a writer. They may write novels, casino slot reviews, a daily recollection of their interactions in a journal. They may be skilled in script writing such as character development, etc. There is no extent to what they can write. Even writing passionately about something you know about or have an opinion on makes you a writer. In my opinion, Pahatla, I would classify myself as a writer because I find my voice in the written word. I can explain a lot better in writing.
Well, would you say everyone on some level is an artist and writer?
Everyone may dabble a bit in writing or art, but whether they pursue them professionally is entirely different.
How long have you been pursuing writing as a career?
I've always been serious about writing, but I've gotten more serious due to the awareness that it's very well a part of my life. I do it all the time even if it didn't take writing gigs to make money. I continually aim to challenge my writing skills with different topics that may attract a larger audience. I am still finding my voice. So many people have written books, and whenever I go to the library, I just stand in awe of all the knowledge and bullshit people have put into words. I have my share of ideas that are unique to me, but many of my ideas may come across as scandalous with seasonings of enlightenment. We all know the food is always about the seasonings. No matter how much you write, bullshit seems to be the common language of all humans. I am never short of that, but I suppose no one is.
I see what you mean.
Are you seeing it because you are reading me like a book?
Yeah, people make up what they don't see to convince themselves of what they think.
I want the book I'm working on to mean whatever people make out of it. To read into it as if they are taking a journey. I don't have all the answers, but I would like for people to go on what the available evidence suggests. I try to be objective, but I fly on the wing of a dragonfly every often.
You like to be ambiguous.
A bit of ambiguity always, but I always try to clear parameters, bringing to light the obvious, then laughing at it.
Objective reality and the importance of fantasy should work like a hand in a glove.
A lot of people would read that as sense and delusion.
Riddle Me That is only for the listeners. And now the message from our sponsors. Riddle me this.
FLATBIRD and SHOOKIE. FLATBIRD is whack. FLATBIRD is expected. FLATBIRD is dead. Get SHOOKIE instead and dance to the rhythm of expanding perspectives.
So, if I never explained it, would you continue to see it at your most convenient?